Friday, May 25th, 1979. O'Hare is moving fast. Gate checks, boarding calls, suitcases swallowed by the jet bridge. 15 miles of clear sky overhead. Nothing about this afternoon looks like history. On the tarmac, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, tail number N110AA, bound for Los Angeles. 258 passengers settle into their seats. 13 crew members run a checklist they could recite in their sleep. In the cockpit, Captain Walter Lux, 53, First Officer James Dillard, 49, Flight Engineer Alfred Udovich, 56. 3 men who've done this job on this route more times than they could count. No reason for anyone to feel uneasy. Full wide-body jet, short taxi, familiar sky, one of the most ordinary departures in American aviation that day. But this airplane isn't what it appears to be. Not the paint, not the engines, something underneath, something no passenger walking down that aisle could ever detect. In under a minute, that hidden difference turns this routine flight into the deadliest air disaster in U.S. history. 273 people, on board and on the ground, won't survive the day. This isn't a story about mechanical bad luck. It's a story about decisions made days before this plane ever reached the runway, made by people who believed they were doing their jobs right.
To understand what happened at 3:02 that afternoon, we go back, past the boarding gate, to the people who built this flight before it ever left the ground. American Airlines Flight 191, the call sign that ends up in incident reports on a memorial wall in aviation history books. That afternoon, it's just one more departure on a controller's board. 271 people made the same unremarkable decision that day: fly American, out of O'Hare, under a clear sky, 15 miles of visibility in every direction. Some heading into the long weekend to see family, some just want to beat Friday traffic home. Nobody picked this flight because it seemed risky. They picked it because it was routine. Hold on to that feeling, the one where you board a flight without a second thought. Most of us know it. This isn't only a story about the people on that aircraft. A short distance from the runway, ordinary life is happening too. People at home on a normal Friday with no reason to think a flight they're not even on is about to reach them. Before this is over, 2 more names join the count. Neither of them ever boarded a plane. On paper, nothing about Flight 191 looks different from 1,000 other flights that same week, on that same runway, flown by that same airline. That's what makes what happens next so hard to accept. By the end of this video, I'd like you to tell me what you think was the greatest lesson you've learned from this story. The cabin doors close, a small mechanical sound that happens on hundreds of flights every day. Up front, 3 men run the choreography commercial aviation has relied on for decades. Captain Lux runs the taxi checks. First Officer Dillard reads clearances back to the tower. Flight Engineer Udovich watches a wall of gauges most passengers behind him will never think about, not once on a normal flight. The DC-10 rolls out and joins Friday afternoon traffic at one of the busiest airports in the country. Ahead, runway 32R, clear sky, 15 miles of visibility, about as forgiving as weather gets. 3:02 p.m., the tower clears American 191. There's a rhythm to takeoff anyone who's flown before knows without naming it. The shove of acceleration, the climbing pitch of the engines, that small drop in your stomach as the wheels leave the ground. For the 271 people aboard, that rhythm begins exactly the way it's supposed to. Nothing about the taxi, nothing about the roll, nothing gives anyone a reason to look up. Then the nose starts to lift.
Rotation is the most ordinary moment of any takeoff. A pilot eases the control column back. The nose lifts a few degrees, and a machine this heavy stops being a ground vehicle. Every pilot does it, thousands of times. Most passengers never notice it happening. A few seconds past 3:02, First Officer Dillard is doing exactly that. It's his leg to fly. Captain Lux calls out the speeds beside him. Flight Engineer Yudovich scans the instrument panel he's scanned on every takeoff of his career. Nothing in front of these three men says worry. Whatever comes next won't arrive as a warning light, an alarm, or a feeling any of them could act on early. Wheels still touching the runway, nose coming up. 271 people trusting 3 men and 1 machine to do what this combination has always done. First Officer Dillard is rotating the aircraft, nose up, wheels about to leave the runway, when the number 1 engine, mounted under the left wing, tears free along with the pylon holding it in place. It doesn't fall away beneath the wing the way most people picture engine failure. The entire engine and pylon assembly flips up and over the wing, tearing away roughly 3 feet of the leading edge with it, before slamming onto the runway behind the aircraft. Thousands of pounds of machinery, gone, in full view of anyone watching from the ground. And the DC-10 keeps flying, an airliner missing an entire engine, still climbing into a clear Chicago sky as if nothing has changed. Because inside the cockpit, none of the 3 men can see what just happened above and behind them. The cockpit sits ahead of the wing, no window angled back far enough, no way to glance over a shoulder and confirm what's missing. All they have is what the instruments tell them and the way the aircraft handles in their hands. That information has just become dangerously incomplete. They don't know the engine is gone. They don't know the pylon went with it. All Lux, Dillard, and Yudovich know is that Flight 191 has lost power on the left side, and 271 people are counting on them to handle it exactly the way they were trained to. Nobody in the cockpit is panicking. Lux, Dillard, and Yudovich feel a sudden loss of power on the left side, and they respond exactly the way American Airlines procedure tells them to respond to an engine failure on takeoff. Here's something almost nobody outside aviation knows. A DC-10 is designed to keep flying after losing one of its 3 engines on takeoff. It's built into how the aircraft is certified. Lose an engine, follow the procedure, keep climbing, and land safely later. A manageable event, not a catastrophic one, because under normal circumstances, that's exactly what it is. So that's what these 3 men believe is happening. An engine failure. Serious, survivable, something they've prepared for without ever expecting to need it. What none of them can know is that this isn't an ordinary engine failure. It only looks like one, for now. Behind them, 258 passengers are still just passengers. Whatever just happened outside hasn't reached them as anything alarming, not yet. Flight 191 keeps climbing. The crew keeps following the checklist they trust. And on a wing they can't see, the real emergency is only just beginning. The engine wasn't the only thing that tore loose. 4 hydraulic lines ran through that exact section of wing, and all 4 severed in the same instant. Hydraulic pressure holds several leading-edge slats on the left wing extended, panels that give a wing extra lift at low speed, exactly when a jet needs it most. The moment that pressure disappeared, those slats folded back in. The slats on the right wing stayed exactly where they were. In an instant, without anyone choosing it, this DC-10's 2 wings stopped matching each other.
The damage didn't stop there. That same engine had been generating electrical power for systems on that side of the aircraft, including the equipment built to warn a crew when a wing is about to stop flying. The left stall warning computer, the stick shaker meant to rattle the control column as a final alert,
a separate warning designed to flag exactly this kind of mismatch between the wings. All of it went dark in the same second the engine did. Not flickering, not degraded, gone, with no fault light anywhere to mark the loss. Lux, Dillard, and Udovich are now flying an airplane with one wing quietly reshaped to give out sooner than the other. As far as they can tell, this is still the engine-out climb they briefed for. The airplane isn't in a position to tell them anything different. 9 seconds into the climb, Flight 191 is doing everything it's supposed to do. 140 feet of altitude, 172 knots on the airspeed tape, 2 working engines pulling this DC-10 higher over O'Hare, the exact shape of a normal engine-out climb. There's a number written into the checklist Lux, Dillard, and Udovich are flying right now, the number every DC-10 crew trains to reach after losing an engine on takeoff. Not invented in the moment, tested, certified, printed in the same manual American Airlines crews have trusted for years. So the aircraft eases down toward that number, nose steady, power holding, bleed off the extra speed, settle onto the safe figure, keep climbing. On any other DC-10, on any other day, that's where this story ends. An engine-out climb, a safe landing, a footnote nobody remembers by Monday. But a section of the left wing has already been quietly reshaped, and the safe number in that checklist was written for a wing that, on this aircraft, no longer exists. No light, no chime, no reason for 3 trained men to believe the math beneath them has changed. By the time anyone understood an engine was gone, Flight 191 was already past the last point where takeoff could have been stopped on the runway. The decision to fly was made seconds before it was even a decision at all. All that's left now is the airspeed, bleeding down toward a number that was never built for this wing. 20 seconds past liftoff, Flight 191 is 325 feet over Chicago. Airspeed has slid to 159 knots, the exact speed at which this wing, missing the lift its slats were built to provide, stops flying. The left wing stalls first, not both wings together, the way a normal engine-out climb assumes. Just the one, no shudder, no light to announce it. An aircraft that has held wings level through its entire climb instead begins to roll left. Lux, Dillard, and Udovich don't sit and watch this happen. Investigators would later confirm the crew fought it. Rudder pushed, ailerons worked, every input a trained pilot reaches for to hold a wing up. 3 men doing exactly what years of training told them to do, against a failure no checklist had ever described to them. It isn't enough. The roll keeps building, past the point any set of hands could correct, until this DC-10 is no longer flying level in any sense of the word. 11 seconds later, 31 seconds after leaving the runway, Flight 191 comes down in an open field 4,600 feet northwest of the runway, banked 112 degrees left, nose pitched 21 degrees down. The wreckage reaches an old hangar and a nearby trailer park. 2 people on the ground, on an ordinary Friday afternoon, are among the 273 who don't go home tonight. All 271 people aboard are lost. None of them survive. For a moment, one of the busiest airports in the country goes quiet in a way it almost never does. The question that takes months to answer: how does an engine failure this aircraft was built to survive end like this? The answer didn't start in the sky. It started on a hangar floor weeks earlier, with a maintenance shortcut nobody involved believed was dangerous.
McDonnell Douglas's manual called for removing a DC-10's engine and pylon as 2 separate jobs. American Airlines had developed a faster method, lifting the entire engine and pylon assembly off together, balanced on a forklift.
It saved hours on every overhaul. It also put enormous, uneven stress on a structure never built to carry a load that way. During an earlier engine change on this exact aircraft, N110AA, that stress cracked the structure bolting the pylon to the wing. It wasn't the only warning. Continental Airlines had fractured the same structure twice in the months before Flight 191, using a nearly identical forklift procedure. Both times, mechanics heard it happen. Neither incident ever reached McDonnell Douglas or the FAA. The finding, in the end, was precise: an asymmetrical stall caused by the uncommanded retraction of the left wing slates and the loss of the systems built to warn a crew when that happens. All of it traced back to a crack that started with a forklift. This crash wasn't decided at 3:02 that afternoon. It was decided on a hangar floor by people trying to save time who never saw where it would lead. In October 2011, a garden and a brick wall went up a few miles from where it came down. 273 names carved in, so this story ends somewhere quieter than a headline. What Flight 191 changed wasn't just a checklist. It changed how aircraft maintenance procedures get reviewed before they're ever allowed near a wing. A reminder that the people who keep a flight safe are rarely the ones sitting in the cockpit. Subscribe for more aviation stories like this. And if you'd rather listen than watch, the full narration of this episode is on Spotify. The QR is on screen now.